Welcome to You Name It.
Hello, Jerry.
I'm here with Davin Christensen, who's guest hosting this week because Ryan's busy again.
Yep, and we're in my garage.
And actually,
again,
on the phone, we have another guest, professional funny man. Don't you love when they say that? Mark Knope. Are you?
No pressure at all. Thank you.
No pressure at all. We work with Mark on the road, and also he is a working comic as well. So if I could say as well a third time, geez, this is going well, isn't it? Everything's going great.
Nice.
Never again.
Never again. I'm never coming out here again. We're at Davin's place, a new location, so you'll hear birds.
You can check into Facebook on Davin's place.
Can you?
Yeah.
Nice. We're on location.
Yes.
It is considered a location.
But we thought we'd talk to you, Mark. There's a couple of different topics that I wanted to talk about today. One of them has been overdone in the media lately, but I just have to hear what you guys have to say. How about that Caitlyn Jenner?
Oh, jeez. Leave the poor guy / gal alone.
Well, you think people are being too critical? I think they're being not critical at all. I think that everybody's just fawning all over that guy.
Well, did
I
you?
don't get, you know, I maybe because I wasn't a big viewer of the Keeping Up with the Kardashians or whatever, because I wasn't really in tune to Bruce these last few years that much. But
yeah,
but it doesn't affect me. Why should it affect? I don't care. If he wants to snip his dingle, go for it.
So yeah, well, he's not going to do that. I guess he's gonna keep that. Because I was going to say that everybody in the media was sucking what it was going to be his former penis, but but no, he's decided he's going to keep it and he's going to date women. He said.
Oh.
Really? I have not heard about that. That makes it just a little more. That's a little stranger.
It is strange. He's. I think that would make him a lesbian, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that means he's born in my territory because I've been a.
You've been a lesbian for years?
For many years. Yes, absolutely. I've got a degree in. I got a PhD in cunnilingus, whatever you want to call it.
There you go. That's right. Turn the show blue, Mark. Right off the bat.
I didn't cuss. I didn't curse. I used technical laboratory terms.
I want everybody to go to Mark Knope's webpage. You have a fan page, right?
I got a Facebook fan page, and I've got a website, and I got on Twitter a little over a year ago, which I'm not a good tweeter, but I tweet once in a while.
What's your web page?
My website is just knope.com. It's KNOPE.com.
All right.
And then you can find me on Facebook under comedian Mark Knope as well.
Yeah, everybody needs to do that.
There's actually a link off of my website where you can get to the Twitter and the Facebook and all that stuff too.
Everybody needs to do that because if they go to your page, then they're going to be able to see a picture of you, and then they'll really be able to tell that you're a lesbian.
Absolutely. And let's not confuse things. The photo that's on the homepage of my website is actually probably now a couple of years old. So I don't buzz my hair down quite as butch as I used to. And now I look a little more male with my hair grown out. So
you think? I don't know. You think I sort of, I don't even know. I was going to try and do an Orange is the New Black joke, and I'm just way lost on that one.
You got any shows coming up, Mark?
No, we actually should have been taping the spot a week or two ago, and I could have promoted my 4 shows this past week in Ann Arbor, which went phenomenally well. And I don't know where most of your podcast listeners, probably all over the world, I'm sure, but
they were huge in Brazil. Yeah.
Well, then it's going to be a hell of a commute, but
it's a big auto show thing.
I do have to give props to the new location for the Ann Arbor Comedy Showcase. They moved about 6 months ago, and the new club is just phenomenal. The first 3 levels are tiered, and it just has a cozier feel to it. Still seats about the same amount of people, probably around 260, 270. But nights when there's only 100, 125 people there, it feels full because of the tiered seating, and I loved it. I was there this past weekend, and
you're giving away the
fun.
secrets. You're going to give away the club's secrets now by saying
No
that.
secret. Hey, anybody else trying to put a comedy club together, literally they should go down and copy the blueprint. You know.
Yeah.
It was just from a performer standpoint, and I think from an audience members, there's no bad seats. It's
So basically, they had a lot of alcohol in the green room for you.
you know better than that. Now come on.
Speaking of alcohol, we have
I'm a
our
Twinkie
first drunk guy on the show right now, named Davin.
I'm in my
Is
happy
Davin-
place.
Is Davin having a little bit of a little? Is he imbibing a little?
Yeah, he just fell over my microphone. Wait, that was me actually. But
We're sitting in my garage where I drink beer.
I took all the gear out here so that we'd be able to do a show this week, and he decided it'd be a good idea to start drinking beer, and here it is. It being drunken Davin.
Davin's having spasmodic flashbacks.
I'm not drunk yet. I'm getting...
No, he will be there by the end of the show.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So we did the Caitlyn Jenner talk. The only other thing I heard about that was that Snoop Dogg was being criticized for saying that Jenner was a science project. So.
Yes. He said, didn't Snoop say he wanted to date? No, Dennis Rodman said he wanted to date Caitlyn.
Yeah, and you know what that's all about too, don't you?
It's just, I think, more self-promotion.
Yeah, look at me. I'm Dennis Rodman. I'll say anything.
Hasn't been in the headlines for a few months, so let's...
What does that guy do? How does he earn a living?
Rodman?
Yeah, does he do like appearances or something?
At
I have
least
no
he's
idea.
not Vanilla Ice rebuilding houses.
Is he on that program? I don't know, but I mean, he's got to have some cash stashed away for all those years he played in the NBA and championships he won with mostly Jordan, but few with Detroit.
I'd be surprised. Most of those guys don't have any cash left.
Well, actually,
then again, I don't know how many babies he's left around the country either, so that sometimes plays into it with those NBA guys.
it depends who they have handling their money. Because when I was at the limo service, I was Terry Mills' driver.
Oh, really?
And we got paid by a service. Basically, it was a law firm that handled all his accounts. And everything had to have a PO like a regular business and everything else to get approved. Otherwise, we wouldn't get a check cut.
Yeah, that means they don't have any money left.
That
They
means
got raped by their handlers.
Yeah, they don't know how to handle their money.
Did Terry Mills, did he have cash money in his pocket for tippage or not?
Yeah, but basically, I'd get a phone call, and it'd be like, "Hey, meet me at my house at 6 o'clock. We're going out to the club." I'd show up at his house. I'd text him. He wouldn't be there. He'd give me the code to his garage. Go inside. I'd shoot pool with Mark Aguirre. Hang out for a while. About 3 hours later, he'd show up. We'd go to the club. He'd pick up a bunch of people, and then the next morning, I would have to come back at like 10 o'clock in the morning and then drive whoever he picked up home.
Are you allowed to talk about this, Davin?
Sure. And they all thought they were the one. They all thought they were.
Terry Mills, I'm sure Terry Mills is subscribed to this podcast. He's probably,
Yeah.
he's one of your regular listeners.
Well, he might now that I titled the show Terry Mills is a male whore. That might work for me.
Beautiful.
Hey, let's talk about something else in the news that I read today, and it was Jerry Seinfeld came out and said he's not going to do any more colleges because they're too politically correct. I don't know how your friends feel about that. Have you heard any rumblings in the community, Mark?
Well, I think they always have been to a certain degree. They've always been pretty fickle. I mean, not really fickle, that's a bad word, but very, let's use a better word, tight-assed. PC. Yeah,
I'm not usually into the political angles on this stuff, but I do think that when you saw what happened with Louis C.K.'s bit a few weeks ago on Saturday Night Live, there's a little bit of overreaction going on to what is obviously comedy.
Absolutely.
Twist it into a
couple days after it aired. I watched it a couple days after it aired, and I was just like, really? That was the whole...
Well,
if it'd be different if, now again, if somebody screwed up and booked him for the, Southern Baptist Conference or something like that,
Right. I mean, it was edgy.
To a certain degree.
Davin, did you hear it?
Absolutely.
No, I didn't.
Oh, he had one bit I think that caused the most commotion when he was talking about pedophiles, and he was saying, well, it must be amazing if you're gonna risk going to jail for it, which was to me was really funny. But then everybody took that all out of context and tried to make it into like he's actually doing commentary on pedophilia.
Yeah.
Right.
But is
Like
Jerry
just encouraging
Seinfeld?
it.
Is Jerry Seinfeld's show actually selling out?
Yeah,
Is it
Seinfeld's huge.
still?
Yeah, didn't he? Last time he was here, didn't he do the Palace?
I'm not sure.
I thought you did the Fox Theater.
I thought he did the
He did the
Palace,
Fox.
but whatever.
Who was the other comedian
yeah.
that was just through here that totally tanked the one night?
I don't know.
Oh, Chappelle.
Oh, I saw
Chappelle,
Chappelle.
yeah.
Are you talking about the Pine Knob show, Mark? I mean,
No, he just did. He did 6 shows over 3 nights at the Fillmore, and
oh, okay.
apparently it was the
Heckler night.
Friday night late show. It was a combination of people yelling out bits they wanted to hear and just yelling out nonsense. Plus,
Yeah.
apparently, from what a lot of people said, he had indulged
Kind of like
between
me.
shows, and it was obvious.
Yeah, kind of like our guest host over here.
He was beyond Davin, from what I heard. So,
Well, I saw him in the summertime at this Comedy Central show where it was him and Flight of the Conchords and
oh yeah, you saw the big tour that came through.
Aziz
with
and
Sarah Silverman, and yeah.
Silverman. Was she on? She wasn't on it. It was that girl who's now on The Last Man on Earth. I forgot her name, but she used to be on Flight of the Conchords too. Anyway, I was irritated by them because they did this giant fanfare where they had this big white scrim down on the stage, and they had like 10 minutes of music with lights flashing all over the place, and then he came out there and he stood in silhouette, like they lit him from behind so his silhouette would be on this big scrim, and he stood there for another 4 or 5 minutes, and I'm like, would you just get started?
Wow,
This would be a great show if everybody would just quit fucking me.
Yeah. For a guy who's done 2 and 3 hour sets before, there's no reason to stretch with, for production value.
Right, I didn't get it. I'm thinking, what are you, Led Zeppelin? What's going on here? And it was really, it really wasn't a good set either. He just kind of was. It seemed like he was going through the motions, like he was just doing it for a check or something.
Who was the guy from Full House? Was it Full House?
Saget or Coulier?
Saget. I saw Saget in New York one year,
Yeah,
and I didn't realize what a dirty, miserable fuck that guy is until he got up on stage.
His stand-up, yeah.
yeah, that's his whole bit. Yeah, the guy who used to be a family show is now the.
He's a miserable fuck too. He hates his life.
That's an act. Come on.
Oh no, I think he really does. After the heroin, he was probably in the back alley, shooting crabs with the fucking dealers out back.
I don't know, but who? Jeff, what's his name, was on that gig too, and he was actually better than Chappelle, and I don't even like him.
Jeffrey Ross?
Yeah, Jeffrey Ross was.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they called it the Oddball Fest or something like that.
Yeah, it was. And I saw. Have you seen anything at the new Jack White Theater?
No.
No, I saw Jack White Theater. We had for everybody else listening, we had a big theater in Detroit called the Masonic Temple, and it went under due to back taxes, I think. So Jack White swooped in and paid off all the back taxes, and they renamed it the Jack White Theater. And
I didn't know. I knew he paid the tax bill, but I didn't know that they renamed it.
yeah, they changed the name. I saw Louis C.K. there, and that was, that was disappointing in a way too, because the place is way too big, and he was a little speck on the stage, and they had seats that were obscured by columns in that building too, and I'm surprised they sold those seats. I didn't get hit with that, but
Well, here's my
He didn't do your favorite pedophile bit either, did he?
no, but he killed me because he came out instantly saying how shitty Detroit was. He said,
Nice.
he was going, is this Beirut? Are we still in Beirut? I thought that was over with in the 70s or something like that. He said, this is the worst. He goes, this is the worst place to live in the country, but with the nicest people. He was saying.
You got to throw in the
Wow,
compliment.
nice recovery.
Yeah, he's brilliant that way, that he does all that. He goes right to the edge and then works his way back.
Actually, that Masonic Temple, we did a show down there, and we showed up at like 2:30, and the call time got changed.
Yeah.
So we ended up getting a tour from the security guard. That
Oh, wow.
place is amazing.
Yeah.
They've got a full-size Olympic pool above the theater that they've never filled with water because the engineers screwed up.
And it would collapse into
And it
the
would
theater.
collapse. It's like, oops. They've got marble and brass bathrooms that were never finished because the Depression hit.
Come on, they're Masons. Don't they secretly own everything?
They do, but they never finished it. They're like any contractor.
No, they're
Wow.
the Freemasons, you know. Jeez, Mark.
You were actually there. You were actually there in a position of you were working it for production.
Correct. And
Okay.
And actually, Bette Midler did a couple shows there, and we were there for that and a few other things, a few other shows down there. But
I didn't. I went as a fan for Louis C.K. and it was okay. It was just a weird layout. I think it was strange. Like you should have been. I don't know. Just it seemed weird that you couldn't see very well in that place.
yeah,
I don't know.
Royal Oak Music Theater
Yeah.
used to be like that too.
What's the capacity at the Masonic or the Jack White?
1 million.
We have internet.
I have no idea, but
I mean,
it seems to be about at least double the size of the Fox. I
oh
think.
wow, you're talking close to probably 8,000 or 10,000 then.
I think that's the impression I got. You know, as a matter of fact, I just did a job in St. Louis at the fabulous Fox Theater. Were you aware that there's 3 of those in the country that are exactly the same?
I didn't know they're exactly the same, but I knew there was several. I thought there was a few Foxes. But yeah.
Yeah, they're the Detroit, the St. Louis, and the Atlanta are all exactly the same. It was.
Are they?
It was
Like,
weird.
printed out and everything. You mean?
Yeah, even the stained glass globe in the ceiling was
Wow.
all the same. It took me a little while to figure it out. I'm like, this looks way too familiar, but
And none of them are booking me.
I got 2 guys in the room looking at their phones right now, Mark. They're really interested in you.
We're trying to find out what the Masonic Temple
Oh,
is.
they're actually looking up the Masonic Temple. That's right. They're doing production for us.
Sorry.
Exactly.
You got to give us a little more lead time than this, Jerry.
They're unpaid interns.
But the political correctness angle, I think that's going to hurt a lot of people too. It's going to hurt it's going to hurt comedy if you can't go do colleges. Wasn't that the big money deal for a lot of guys?
It says it could
Well, it is.
accommodate a group
You know-
of any size.
It is.
So it must be huge.
I mean, I've never done any big college tours because, shoot, by the time I got rolling in my career, I was old enough for these people. The kids would look at me like, "What's Dad doing up there?" You know. But
I don't
But
know if it
early
works
on,
that way.
I did several. Well, it's different. I mean, if you have a name like Jerry Seinfeld or Jim Gaffigan or something like that, obviously, you know, they're not going to have to deal with the dad angle because they're celebrities.
Right.
I've never had that problem yet of being a celebrity.
Or Jerry Taylor, because I did a college tour.
Okay, I've got the stats.
Oh, we got
Jack
the
White
stats.
Theater now. Square footage is 27,868 square feet and a capacity of 1,586 people.
That's it?
Yeah, well, 86 people are behind pillars.
Does it say
That's a lot
that?
smaller than the Fox then.
Yeah,
Fox,
then it
I think
is.
it's just under 5,000.
It didn't feel smaller. It felt way bigger. I don't know. Maybe I'm just an idiot. You think that could be it?
Could be.
What's that?
Maybe I'm just an idiot.
It says it has a magnificent lobby entrance
Yeah, it's a magnificent lobby. That's where all the people could fit
and
in.
a rich interior.
But I did a college comedy tour. I did 3 colleges. I think it was 2 or 3 colleges, of which one of them I had shit thrown at me on stage.
Well, Jared, let's qualify this first. When you say tour, are you talking about student union? Are you talking about the cafeteria? Or are you talking about the theater on campus?
The theater. I did Ferris State University and I did Michigan State University. I think that's the only 2. And
Okay.
it was sponsored by Alpha Kappa Alpha. I remember that. It was a girls' sorority. It was a tribute to Robin Harris. So we did a couple of cities. I think they dropped one of the cities. Or they just kicked us off the tour. I can't remember.
You were on a tribute to Robin Harris?
Yep. Isn't that strange?
A little bit.
I was the only white fella.
Damn baby.
And I got hit in the face with a quarter right in the middle of a bit, and screamed at, like, get the fuck off the stage.
Wow. No, there's no way to put a spin on that as saying they threw money at me. I was so good.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they loved me so much they were tipping me throughout the whole act. Yeah,
exactly.
With vegetables.
It was terrible. Live and learn.
And it's funny. It's funny you mentioned tipping though, but it hasn't happened as much recently. But back when comedy was still, the boom was kind of maybe starting to tail off, but it was still a novelty and whatnot. It was not a comedy to get a tip from people.
Really?
Just after the show. So yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I mean,
maybe not uncommon for you, but for me, it's either thrown at you or nothing.
No, but I mean, this is like a legit, like, they palmed you some money, or they say, here, I really enjoyed the show, and you're sitting there going, you know, I mean, I've only had the CDs and stuff available for, you know, some merch for the last, 12 or 15 years, but I mean, even before that, it's like, can I, go kick your ass tomorrow before the show or something, or, why can you flip me $20, or I had a guy one year, New Year's Eve, after the show, walked through the lobby and handed each one of us I think I got $50. I was just emceeing the show. I don't know what he gave the other guys.
I don't know what you were doing. You were doing your "I'm So Poor" act or something. What was going on with that?
The dollar dance.
I don't know. The rest of them got something too, so they owe me.
I just pictured Jerry scrambling around on stage picking up the coins to go back to Coinstar for Christmas.
They didn't have Coinstar then, mister. I put him in my pocket and I used him in the soda machine at the student union.
Go to the arcade.
Oh, but the worst when it comes to college gigs, what we call nooners.
Oh,
when
okay.
you get booked to actually perform in the cafeteria or the student union.
Great.
While these students were eating lunch, cramming for a test, passing in between classes, whatever.
Food fight.
And you basically have to stay up on the horse for the full 8 seconds, or in this case, 45, 50 minutes. And
really, you're doing a full feature act for them, huh?
Yeah, they usually have usually 2 acts. You have to fill an hour. So I mean, the opener might do 20, and I might do 40 or whatever it was. And I mean, it's not, you can't really do a lot of crowd work when hey, how about that wacky algebra? And
yeah, right.
So
that's hilarious.
Yeah, it was brutal. But I mean, if you could go through on your way to another gig and pick up, whatever it was, $400, $500, $600 in the middle of the afternoon on a Tuesday or Wednesday, that's like found money.
Yeah, and you lost half your material for trying to interact with them too. So, what do you guys do for a living? Yeah,
exactly.
Okay, nothing yet, huh?
Yeah. How many kids you got? Oh, wait a minute, you're not on the basketball team. Never mind.
Oh boy. So what's coming up for you? You don't have anything on the horizon?
Actually, this month only, I've got a couple of private gigs. I'm actually doing a gig towards the end of June. I think it's the 24th for the Woodhaven Senior Center for their annual.
You're playing the cello, are you?
You're gonna kill them, aren't you?
No, they're having a cookout and a barbecue, and then they're moving them all indoors, and I'm doing my
changing
show.
Their diapers and
oh God, here we go.
No, it's not a nursing home. For God's sake,
it's not Texas State Fair, right?
Exactly.
Hey, do you want me to show up and we can do Who's On First so they can relate to something?
So no, I'll tell you what I've done. I don't want to say I've actually done a lot of senior centers per se, but I've done a lot of shows with the audience numbers. Well, it's okay. I'll tell you what. This is 10 years ago. You want to talk about skewing the audience age way off the charts on the high end?
Yes.
When I opened for Wayne Newton 10 years ago.
Wow. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That's hilarious because
2,700 people.
You were the young, good-looking guy, weren't you?
Was this before or after that the Chevy Chase movie that had him in it?
10 years ago, he said. So I don't know what movie you're talking about.
wasn't Vacation, National Lampoon's Vacation, where his wife was in love with Wayne Newton?
But that was in the 80s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's after he was famous.
But I was just stoked because I had to do 30 minutes, you know, it had to be clean.
Yeah.
And I had to make old people laugh. And when I say old people, you know, I was younger than the bottom end of the age band at that time. You
Right.
know?
That's what I said. You were the young, good-looking guy.
Well, I think you had half that right, but yeah. So
Gosh.
I was young. No, but it was weird because I mean, and literally, and I'm not kidding you. Because they didn't. I wish they would have given us a little bit of input as far as the setup, because a perfect scenario would have been having the curtain drawn in front of all the band's instruments. But when I get there, they had the stuff beyond the curtain line, so I had to play in front of the band's instruments, which, you know, creates less depth and or more depth and more distraction.
Yeah.
And so, and then they didn't have anybody. They're getting ready to do the show. They go, "Go ahead, go on out." And I go, "Was someone going to do like an off-stage introduction or something or whatever?" And they're like, "No, just go out there and just do your jokes." I'm going like, "You guys haven't done this before, haven't you?" You know. And I finally had to talk one of the stagehands into just doing a little 2-line introduction for me, just so they have some, you know, draw some attention to, oh, something's coming on. Because I wasn't actually on the bill. I wasn't on their ticket. I was just kind of like a parsley on the edge of their plate that they didn't order, you know.
How was the pay for that one?
Pretty good. I like I said, do 30 minutes. I think I made $600
And a pound cake.
And that was 10 years ago, so I had no complaints. So
Yeah, I don't even know what.
cool.
I have no idea what pays like out there anymore. I haven't talked to anybody for a while about that.
Well, it hasn't gone up, I'll tell you that.
Right, it's miserable. I did a interview with what the heck was his name? The platypus man that killed himself. What was his name?
Richard Jenny.
Yeah, and he was coming into Ridley's. So
Okay.
we went out. Ken Brown was opening for him, so we were covering Ken Brown for that documentary I talked about with you on the phone, and so I interviewed him, and he was miserable. He was just he basically was saying, my life sucks because, and this is off camera actually, but he's saying,
Right.
You know, I come into town, they pick me up in a shitty cab and shuttle me over to the venue. I sit here and have an iced tea. I go do my gig, and then I go back to a shitty hotel and go on to the next city, you know. And I got the impression that he just hated his life.
Jerry, if you want to, it almost flashbacks to what you just mentioned with what Richard Jenny said. The last 2 episodes of Louis C.K.'s show on FX.
Oh, yeah?
The last 2 episodes dealt with working the road.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And,
I have them yet to watch, so.
Yeah, if you can pick them up on demand.
No, I have them on my DVR. I'm a big
watch the last 2 episodes. You're gonna come out of that going, whoa. Especially the second half, the second one. Watch them in order, but the second one blew my mind. Jim Florentine plays another comic who he has to share a comedy condo with.
Okay, yeah, he's frequent on the show. Yeah. Have you stayed in one of those crash pads?
Oh, God, over the years, dozens and dozens and dozens. Absolutely.
I don't know if you're aware of this, Davin.
No.
I'm talking to the drunk guy now, you guys.
That's all right.
He
Okay. Talk slowly.
I'm not drunk.
they when you go on the road, then isn't it nearly every market that they have a house that's rented by the comedy club that you just go crash in with shitty couches in it and everything, like it's a freaking frat house?
It's not as frequent as it used to be, because more and more clubs now, instead of being open 5 or 6 nights for the pro show, they might be open 2 or 3. So now it's not as frequent as it used to be. But go back 10, 15, 20 years ago, and I would say 75, 80% of the full-time comedy clubs would have either a rented apartment, rented house, or they'd buy a house or a condo.
Yeah.
But all of them had the affectionate name of quote-unquote comedy condo.
Yeah.
And and usually it was you know, to have a matching sofa and love seat would just be like lap of luxury. I mean, it was just anything unmatched furniture, you know.
A giant spool in the middle of the room, a wooden spool for wires that you would use as a table.
Yeah, or there would be a card table with 4 unmatched chairs. 2 of them would be patio or folding, lawn chairs, and you'd open up the cupboard to see if there was any sort of, there'd be 3 glasses that had the club's logo on them, 3 other glasses that came from some gas station because you filled up 8 gallons, and nothing matched. Plasticware, sporks. Most of them only had a 2-bedroom, and if they had a MC that came from out of town, he's crashing on the couch. So you couldn't even walk through there till noon. Because some kids flopped on the couch or whatever. And
with a pile of vomit next to them.
Funny in many cases. Oh, there's some. Yeah,
I'm focusing on the sporks. I want a spork.
Yeah.
Holy shit! This is going downhill with Davin.
I'm grabbing another beer.
That's what he needs.
I should find the. I'm trying to remember who wrote the song, but there was a song written, "The Legend of John Fox," when it came to comedy condos, and John Fox, rest his soul. He passed away a year or 2 ago, but he was legendary on the road. It was just John Fox, and it was always said, never eat the mayonnaise in the comedy condo.
No, because it's 8 years old, probably.
Nah, I'm not going to go that route. I'm just going to say that if John was there the week before you, chances are it wasn't all mayonnaise.
I see. Yes.
Just leave it at that.
I stayed in the dorms when I did that college tour. That was hilarious because it was almost like you felt like you were in a prison room because it was cinder block with a cot. It was so stupid.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, showbiz, fancy living.
Yep.
So
you wonder why I dig the Chevy gig on the side.
Yeah.
Are you doing a Texas State Fair, Mark?
I don't know yet. I'm hoping. If I do, I think it'll be I want to say it'll be my 11th consecutive year.
Yes. So, Mr. Knope is also a product specialist for Chevy. So you know everything there is to know about every Chevy vehicle, correct?
That is incorrect. I know where to find the information. That's the key.
I watch you work that floor, and man, it's just it's beauty. It's art.
It's called. I don't like standing in one place too long, and my bum knee doesn't seize up on me if I keep moving.
I just know at Texas State Fair, I walk out there and you look miserable out in the heat. You're just waiting for the next day when you're in the air conditioning.
Yeah, it can get a little brutal. It wasn't as bad last year. It only got into the 90s last year. I've worked that gig at Texas several times when we have 3 or 4 days in a row. Back when we weren't going back and forth, when you were out there the whole time, and we'd have 3 or 4 days in a row of 104, 105 degrees. And
nice.
Now, how many days are you guys out there? Typically, product specialists.
20. Well, we do the state fair is 24 days. In the last 3 years, they've sent us out for the entire fair. And last year was the first year where they had us go 2 days in, 2 days out. So there's a little variety. But if they want me to do the outdoors by the trucks the whole 24 days again, I'll do it because I much prefer the freak parade of humanity that tends to go through the outdoor.
It has to be. It's either that or the fine dining.
That's true. They do go
fair.
inside, though, too.
Well, you got that wafting scent of Fletcher's corny dogs, coming by, and I just like the outdoors. I just dig the outdoors a lot more. So.
Not me, man. I'm a vampire. I'm telling you, the sun hates me. I feel like when I walk out in the sun, I feel like I'm going to burst into flame every time. It's terrible.
Yeah, but Texas State Fair, we've got the 52-foot child molesting cowboy watching over us the whole time.
What's it?
Right.
Big Tex.
Big Tex telling us to wash our hands.
Folks.
Oh, does it talk? It talks, doesn't it?
Big Tex.
Remember to wash your hands.
That's hilarious.
Do you remember the guy that used to do the voice for him?
Absolutely. Yeah.
You never had to go in that room at the end of the fair and take out his microphone and all that stuff. That room smelled. He lived in there the whole time.
No way.
There's no restroom in that room. Think about it.
Are you insinuating that he just peed on the floor?
Uh-huh.
No.
He was a disgust. Oh, my God. Big Tex.
Billy Bragg.
Howdy, folks.
Come on and shake Big Tex's hand. Oh, that's not Big Tex's hand, but Big Tex
Now, wait a
likes that.
minute. Now, wait a minute. Billy's a good guy. Stop it.
I don't know. I can't do the impression. I just end up sounding like Wally World when I do it.
Howdy.
Now, again, you stick somebody anywhere for 24 straight days, there's probably going to be a little funk involved. But,
Especially if they're all you can eat is carnival food.
yeah.
You're just marinating in fried Oreos.
Don't forget to check out the ostrich races, folks.
They have those, too. I want to go this year.
Oh, yeah.
I just want to go. I'll do the setup just so I can look at it.
Pig races and African acrobats and fireworks and parades and yeah.
Kids with leashes.
You said African acrobats?
Yeah.
They have,
that's in Chrysler, yeah.
Like they're all dressed up in African garb and jumping around on stuff?
And they flip around on chairs and all kinds of stuff.
That'd be interesting.
they're like little sumo, basically just drinking the goodies.
The big highlight is the mechanical bull over in Ram.
Oh.
Because on football day, the girls wear the short skirts. And
I see.
Yeah, it's a good spectator sport.
The day of the big game.
They call that nip slip day, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, no, it's more than that.
Let me ask you this, you guys. What's the weirdest thing you've seen at the Texas State Fair?
People point with coney dogs.
That's the weirdest thing you've seen. People pointing with coney dogs.
We had a guy pee behind the Chevy booth while Troy was in there doing the team meeting.
Oh, that's right. That was indoors. Yeah, right behind our wall. Yeah.
Somebody pooped 2 years ago in between GMC and Chevrolet.
That was on the carpet this year, wasn't it?
Carpet. GMC and Cadillac.
Yeah, that's right. You sent me a picture of that.
Yeah.
Someone decided to put a deuce down on the carpet.
Well, they didn't unlock the bathrooms yet, so you can't blame them.
Well, you might as well just poop on the carpet then, I guess.
That's true. You're in Texas.
Were the cars out?
Everything's bigger in Texas, dude.
Were the cars out at the time and everything?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's sick.
That was a few days in, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it was. And, Mark, it's so freaking cold inside that building. Is it insanely cold? The city controls the air to that building.
Okay.
And they leave it on max. So you come in the morning and it's 48 degrees, 52 degrees.
Yeah, they're doing that on this LG tour, and that's part of the protocol, this current one that I'm on. They tell the house that they have to have the AC blasting the whole time so people don't get tired and fall asleep during their show.
It's like the David Letterman studio. It's just way too freaking cold.
Yeah, you got to bring a coat with you to sit in the room. I did. I wore a sweatshirt one day, and I'm glad I brought it because other people were freezing.
I'm in Arizona, damn it.
Yeah.
At Sullivan Theater, where Letterman did his show, I think they kept it at a steady 58 degrees, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I saw a show there once, and it was brutally cold.
So when are you going to be at the David Letterman Theater, Mark?
Well, since it is no more.
Oh, it isn't. That's right.
Yeah, they completely dismantled it.
But why didn't you take that job? They offered it to you, didn't they?
Is it going to be a Hershey shop?
Yeah, that was. I said, you know what, guys? I've got this gig in Woodhaven at the senior center. It's a big conflict, and you guys can hold out for a month. And they're like, no, it's now or never. And I said, well, I don't cancel gigs. So
yeah, it's only a matter of time now that you've been on this show.
It's all about pride.
Till Hollywood calls and signs you for stardom.
One drunk guy and one bald guy in my garage.
However that works. Pretty soon you'll be dealing with all the stuff. You'll be dating Rihanna before you know it.
Of all the people to pick.
I was going to say, why? Yeah.
Because you won't hit her. That's why. I can't imagine you striking a woman, so you'd be a good bet for her.
Okay, no.
I was really holding out for Halle Berry or something, but
oh, come on. She's getting long in the tooth.
I can live with that.
Like anybody's going to complain about Halle Berry.
I was going to say her tooth isn't any longer than mine is. So.
Yeah, I love that when people start saying things about these celebrities, like, nah, she doesn't look as good as she used to. All those people would be falling all over themselves if they met her at the corner bar.
Yep.
Yep.
So
Oh,
stupid.
absolutely.
Well, they're
Absolutely. That's the funny thing, too, even about the Chevy gig. My friends, you know, that knew me from high school and college and whatever, and, you know, I'll post a photo on Facebook or, you know, whatever it might be, and they're like, dude, you're working with all those models and blah, blah, blah. And I go, yeah, and they all call me Uncle Mark, okay? So let's get this straight, you know?
yeah.
Uncle Mark's not getting lucky out there, you know?
That's right. That's what I used to tell
I'm
my
working my
ex-wife.
job. I'm working my 8 hours, and you know, I'm grabbing a dinner on the way home, and it's a job. But they're
Yeah.
fun people, and I enjoy my work. But you know, it's not like it's a traveling orgy or anything like that.
I get that at home every once in a while
Uncle
too.
Mark, you know?
I get the you're probably out with your girlfriends, the little car girls on the road, and I'm like, 21-year-old girls have no interest in me whatsoever.
And I've seen Jerry on the road. He just goes back to his room and watches Netflix and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't go out. I don't go out drinking with anybody. They all want me to go out and drink. I'm not going to do that. But yeah, they don't have. I mean, the most conversation I have is with people where they're like, I read a new book, you know, or whatever. It's not like they're fawning all over me. Plus, I have a mirror. I know exactly what they're looking at.
Shut up.
But yeah, they're all nice. They're all nice people. That's for sure.
Yes.
But
Yes. We have a great time. It is the dynamic of the quote unquote the Chevy family on the road and everything is cool.
Yeah.
And really the last couple of years has been virtually, God, I'd say like no drama really to speak of.
Well, that might not be true, but
Well, I'll put it this way: the shows that I've been involved with.
that's because Uncle Mark's there to keep everybody in line.
That's right. Well, and last year at the State Fair of Texas, especially because if you're cooped up with the same 25 or 30 people for 24 days, you know, it can tend to get dicey. But
Yeah.
last year was cool, man. We had virtually no drama whatsoever. Everyone got along. By the 17th, 18th, 19th day, you're getting kind of loopy because it turns into Groundhog Day. Is what it turns into. You know, you just get up, you get dressed, you get on the van or whatever, and go to work, and you come back, and
Right.
and just every other day, boom, 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 and
People are pissed at each other because they got to look at each other.
Well, there's always car drama because they share a car and they have to drive all in together.
Oh, yeah.
And there's always the one person who really shouldn't have a rental car that's driving.
Oh, like someone who's local or something?
Like someone who's never owned a car in their life and they're the driver.
Oh, someone who lives in New York?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And then there's the person that I'm going to go shopping and they take the car and it's a group car. So if someone else wants to do something, you kind of got to organize it around it. And, they're gone for 8 hours.
Disclaimer.
no, well, not last year. Last year, the agency was very adamant that the people there was 2 drivers for each vehicle, and if someone wanted to go to the grocery store, we'd offer to take them like every other day, but they made that clear in training or whatever, so it was a little easier to maneuver last year. Yeah.
Yes.
I just remember, I just know that show I did nothing. I didn't go out at all. It was literally 14 to 16 hours a day every day and go back to the hotel. Because if you left the site, there's the birds. If you actually left the show site for lunch and tried to get back in, if it was the wrong timing, it could take 45 minutes to an hour to get back in that place.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I bet. Absolutely.
Did you do Minneapolis, Mark?
Not this year.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Last year, I did it for the very first time because it used to always overlap Cleveland, and I was almost always assigned Cleveland. But last year, which would have been 13, 14
Spasmatics.
Yeah.
I did Minneapolis for the very first time, and
The elevator.
and
Yeah, the hotel elevator, because they have a academic tournament going on that week, and it could take you a half hour to get an elevator up to your room.
The DECA convention.
yes, yep.
Stupid smart
Yeah, I ran
kids.
into that my second or third year out in Los Angeles. We were at the what's the name of the hotel? It wasn't the Biltmore, but it was it was one of the towers. They're kind of like the Ren Center out there that the movies have been in, like True Lies with the horse scene. He's in the elevator and stuff.
Yep.
God, what's the name of that hotel?
I have no idea.
Bonaventure. The Bonaventure.
Bonaventure. Yep.
Yeah.
Where they
And,
jump the horse off of the roof of the Bonaventure and it lands in the Marriott pool, but the hotel is 3 blocks away.
I see. Movie magic.
They they had, I think it was our first weekend there. It was like some modeling convention for kids ages, like 9 through 19 or whatever. And it was like my second day there that particular year. And I get on the elevator, and I'm up on the 30th floor or whatever. And we go down like one floor, and the door's open.
Yeah.
Nobody gets in.
Yeah, I know where you're going.
And I look at these two little 12, 13-year-old girls that are in the elevator with me. And I happen to glance at the whole thing because the way the sun's hitting the inside of the glass elevator. And they hit every button.
Of course they did.
And I looked at them and I went, really? You know?
Yeah, I don't know why they do that. They do that every time. It's like they can't avoid touching the button, the shiny candy-like button.
It's a Christmas tree.
You know. And then I thought and then I'm like for 10 seconds going, not going to yell at him, not going to get too crazy because all of a sudden then it's the middle-aged white guy who's in an elevator with two 13-year-olds. Next thing you know, I'm going, no, Your Honor, I didn't touch him. Oh,
wow! Now that you mention that, I yelled at a kid this past week in the elevator.
Did you?
Yeah, because the elevator was broken in this hotel I was at. It would you were lucky if you got it to work. And some kid comes on. The doors are closing. He sticks his arm in there, opens it back up again, steps inside, and then they start to close again. And he sticks his arm back out again, and then yells down the hallway to his buddy, like, "Evan, come here!" And I just go, "Hey, kid, get in." Like that, Then I felt really shitty about it.
You're yelling at a 13-year-old kid. You don't want to yell, "In or out, kid, in or out," because next thing you know, PC police are coming.
Yeah, no kidding. And that brings it full circle. I did feel shitty about it too, and I started trying to make small talk at the end, telling them because this elevator's broken. I'm trying to backtrack on the whole. Hey, kid, come on, get in.
I hate the fact that when you get off an elevator, and we were at there was a poets convention in Chicago one year, and
what convention?
A poet convention, a bunch of poets and rhyming.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, the elevator etiquette. You don't try to rush on the elevator until people get off. What the fuck can't people figure out about it? So we started making rhymes. Poet, poet in the hall. Poet, poet, you're so small. Poet, poet, stand away. When the doors open, get the fuck away.
There you go. Did you win a prize for that one?
6 or 7 years ago in Cleveland, we're sharing the hotel. We're sharing the Sheraton the first weekend we're there with a Narcotics Anonymous convention.
Nice.
And
I know you. I know you.
Wasn't that held in Vegas this year?
What's that?
I think there was some kind of narcotic show or some drug intervention show that was held in Vegas this year. They were all in an uproar about it.
I don't know, but who did you?
It was weird though, because you're trying to get to or from your shift, and they'd have these, breakout sessions or things going on or whatever, and they would just like congregate in the hall, and just you couldn't get through, and you're like, "Oh, excuse me, sir, I didn't mean to step on your fur coat," and pardon me, and it was like a bad episode of Pimps and Hoes. It was interesting, but
did you see a bad episode of Pimps and Hoes? I don't know where that show airs, but I want to see it now.
As opposed to a good episode, I guess. So.
Pimps and Hoes. Great.
No, seriously, there's guys walking through there with like full-length fur coats and wearing sunglasses at 10 o'clock at night.
Oh, they do the every year they do the pimp convention in Vegas.
That's Cleveland opening night. There's always at least one pimp-looking guy walking around.
Well, Cleveland opening night is like mullets and flannel as far as the eyes can see.
Oh, yeah.
Face tattoos.
Not necessarily guys wearing the flannel. So
that is funny. I see pictures every year. Somebody who's drunk right now sends me pictures every year. No, it's great, actually. Davin's pictures makes my whole auto show season go by a lot quicker.
Yeah,
it's nice to see.
It's cool getting
It's nice to see other people suffering.
Well, the whole thing is, Jerry, you slide under the radar. Nobody really knows you or gets to know you because you go to your room every night.
Right.
I go out and party with these people.
I know. Everybody knows Davin. Everybody. I mean, you could stop the bus driver outside and he'd know Davin for some reason. Oh, yeah, I remember. I took him to 7 bars.
In Cleveland. Especially in Cleveland.
We're doing the Spasmatics again in Cleveland, by the way, Mark.
Sweet.
Every year.
Every year.
I had a ball, man. I had a great time that night.
I actually already have my schedule. I'm not going to divulge it yet, but I do have my schedule already.
Well, that's fascinating. It's not that time of year where you can't start promoting your show yet.
Yeah, no.
We're gonna go down and do the You Name It show at the Spasmatics this year.
That'd be sweet.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Do a remote.
You're going to be in Atlanta, Jerry.
Yeah, I guess I will. Anyway, that's the show. It just happened. Did you see it?
I had fun.
Yeah, it went by pretty quick.
Mark, you've been golfing.
As a statement, I'm sorry, I must say, I had fun.
I love the question mark on the end of that one.
We got to go golfing, Mark.
I would love to. I don't know exactly what your location is right now, but it's raining now for the 3rd straight day here in lovely Toledo, Ohio. So,
right.
I'm digging the. I played 9 holes of golf so far this year, and that was in a scramble this past Saturday morning.
Oh,
I've played none.
You bring the Yingling, I'll pay for the golf.
Oh, well, it depends how much Yingling we're talking about. I might be better off paying my own green fees.
Yeah, right.
Knowing how I drink, you never know.
I know. Anyway.
But, let's definitely get out and play this summer. Sounds good.
Yeah, and let us know when you have public events, public shows coming up so that we can plug them for you, too. You can just always email me, and we'll throw it on whatever week that is.
And share.
Absolutely. And of course, you can always access the website. Shameless plug one more time.
Please do.
Knope.com, KNOPE.com.
That's right. And then I'll also, they might be able to, I'll try and link your fan page on our Facebook page, too, where a lot of people listen from. So
that'd be great.
I'll throw all that stuff up. Not a problem. Thanks for being on the show. Thanks for being the show.
If I don't see you, I'll see you in Texas.
Sounds good. Kevin and Jerry, you guys have a great evening.
All right. Signing off. Goodbye, everybody.
Have a good one.